Hello, everyone. Welcome to West Catholic Live. It's all about the wonderful things that are going on here at West Catholic High School. I'm Cindy Kneibel. I'm the president and CEO of West Catholic. Joining me today is Megan Pittman, our athletic director. We're both taking over for Gonzo and Tony Fisher today, especially because we're celebrating Women's History Month.
Definitely some big shoes to fill, but happy to be here. Probably a little more anxious than excited for maybe the both of us, especially because we thought the red carpet and hair and makeup were going to be rolled out for us today, but we'll work on that for the next show that we host together.
That's right. We've got a great show coming up for you. You're going to meet Sister Damian Marie from Aquinas College. You're also going to have the opportunity to learn a little bit about our women's leadership group. And we'll have Mr. Pat Nugent to share a few items about the great women in the history of West Catholic.
We also can't forget Cam's giveaway. That may look a little bit different today, but we'll certainly be sharing another opportunity for you to win some merchandise. And of course, with spring break coming up, we will also have our student, Renee St. Andre, also known as Rainy Renee, who will be doing the weather forecast for us for spring break here and elsewhere around the country.
Before we get to that, we'd like to tell you a few things that have occurred in Weekly Chatter. Megan? Spring sports?
Yeah. Okay, so first off, our spring sports have kicked off and they're in full swing. This week we actually had track, girls soccer, and baseball with their first competitions. We're looking forward to see the rest of our spring sports back in action soon after spring break. Be sure to check out the schedules on our athletic website at grwestcatholicsports.org.
And if you're missing any items, please, we beg you, take a look at our Lost and Found, which is located right in front of the main office before it takes over the entire hallway. Any items that are not picked up by the end of this week will be donated over spring break.
If you've attended a few of our West Catholic sporting events, you've probably seen Freddy the Falcon cheering on all of our athletes. However, next time you see Freddy, he may not look exactly the same. We do have some big news to share with you, so definitely keep an eye out.
And as we're sure all of our students and parents already know this and are looking forward to it, next week we go on spring break. Whether you're staying in Michigan or you're going on a trip outside of the state, we ask that you have fun, stay safe, and come back ready to finish the school year strong. And that's it for Weekly Chatter. It's time for Cam's giveaway. Whoops, maybe not Cam's giveaway this time.
We'll call it Megan's giveaway this week. We do want to congratulate the winner from last week, Sarah Preston. She can feel free to pick up the shirt that was given away in the office anytime this week or next week, I guess the following week after spring break. This week, we are going to be handing out a West Catholic bucket hat. Doing this for all the rain that we're seeing in the forecast the next couple weeks with our spring sports. So if you would like to win the bucket hat, feel free to comment in Facebook or YouTube, and we'll be sure to choose a winner based on your comments.
Thanks, Megan. Next, we're fortunate enough to have in our lineup Mr. Pat Nugent. Mr. Pat Nugent is our resident historian. He knows everything about West Catholic. So welcome to the show, Mr. Nugent.
Thanks. Hi, Cindy and Megan. Glad to be here.
Hi, Pat.
Now, what do you want to tell us, Pat, about Mr. Nugent, about the wonderful women in West Catholic history?
So I was asked to talk about, like I said, like you said, some women from West Catholic history, and that was a tough task to determine who to think about, who to interview, who to talk about. Over the 60 some years of our school's history, there's lots of outstanding women that we could talk about. But I chose 3 a little bit back in time, back to the 1970s, that I think encapsulate a lot about what West Catholic's all about.
Okay, and who are these 3?
So one at a time, or
start out one at a time. Tell me the first one.
First person that I chose was our first female principal. Thought that'd be appropriate for Mrs. Kneibel to talk with us about too. Would be Sister Miriam Therese Gill. Sister Miriam Therese was our principal from 1971 to 1979. Sister Miriam Therese actually worked at West Catholic for 15 years. She was a math teacher here from 1964 until she became the assistant principal in 1969, and then she became the principal in 1971.
Wonderful. Who's next on deck?
Well, before, just one other thing.
Go ahead.
We did have the opportunity in 2014 to bring Sister Miriam Therese back to the school, and in our Falcon Awards night, give her our Excellence in the Catholic Faith Award. And I know Cindy and I were both able to meet with her and talk with her then and really learn about the impact she made and the sort of roads that she opened up in our school in those years.
Yeah, and you know what? She was wonderful. If you have fond memory, if anybody listening has fond memories of her, I'd love you to put something in the chatter so that we know a little bit more about her.
The next person I picked is a teacher who was here at about the exact same time as Sister Miriam Therese, and that's Sister Caritas Creeder. Sister Caritas worked here as an English teacher, religion teacher, Latin teacher from 1964 to 1978, 14 years. Sister Caritas had a unique skill of being able to be a handwriting analyst. And she did that for many, many years, and students will remember that. And those are some of the stories I know that have been told. I was trying to find a picture of her in the yearbook that I know is there of her analyzing a student's handwriting and the kids gathered around her. I couldn't find that picture for today's broadcast, but she was even on the TV show What's My Line at one time, surprising people with her skills, which she says all come to her because she's analyzing it with the help of the Holy Spirit. And that's why she's always right.
And you know what? I believe if you Google it online, you can still see a clip of her. I saw one not too recently on What's My Line.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Yeah. And apparently she was incredibly, I found a yearbook that we have in our archives that was her yearbook, and the kids wrote messages to her in it. And they all kept writing, probably the smartest person I've ever known, to the smartest person in the world, probably the greatest person I've ever met. And so definitely someone who made an impact, as so many of the sisters did in the many years that they were here at West.
For sure. I was just going to say, sounds like she was an impactful person on our students' lives.
Yep. And then I decided to pick one other person for our conversation. Maybe this is more up Megan's alley in the area of athletics. And so back to the 70s again in the time machine a little bit. But I chose Patty Tibaldi, who is our basketball coach here at West Catholic from 1975 to 1984. And included in that was a state championship, Class B state championship in basketball in 1979. I went down to check out her plaque on our Athletic Wall of Fame, and it talks about her state championship. They were state semifinalists the year before that. They had 4 City League championships. She also was the softball coach in the time. 163 wins, 34 losses on the basketball court in those years. And then the last 3 years she was at West, she was also the Aquinas coach. And she left here to continue at Aquinas and did that for many years. Had a national championship at Aquinas, and then was at Traverse City West after that. Just this past year, she won the award from the MHSAA, their top award for interscholastic athletics, and the impact she made. And when you go back to the things about women's sports in the 1970s and the beginnings of Title IX, definitely someone who was a pioneer at West and for women's sports across the state.
If I'm not mistaken, my history may not be exact, but I think we may have been one of the first schools to offer women's basketball. Not the first, but one of the first. Is that correct?
I'm not so sure on all the specifics of it, but definitely we had opportunities for women here in the earliest years of our school. Very early on, we had some, before there was even state sanctioned sports, we were starting to do some club sports and things here at our school.
Okay, I think that's a wonderful testament to women power here at West
Yeah.
Catholic.
Absolutely. Well, especially to see how far we've come as a school
Yep.
with our women's sports.
With so many now.
Mhm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So now we have 14 women's sports here
Yes.
at West Catholic.
Yes.
So for any of you out there thinking about West Catholic, what a great opportunity to come and play your favorite sport.
Absolutely.
We'd love to have you join us.
Plenty of opportunities. So
Okay, well,
Yeah. I'll have to come back sometime because there's hundreds more people we could talk
yeah,
about.
I bet there is.
So,
We
yeah.
would absolutely love to have you back.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Nugent.
You're welcome.
And I hope you have a great and wonderful spring break. It's only a couple days
I know.
away.
Counting down.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Thanks.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, next, Megan, we had a chance to catch up with a very special person at Aquinas College, Sister Damian Marie Cevino, who is actually, she runs the science department at Aquinas College. She is an engineer. She is an amazing woman. There's much to learn about her. We had a great time. And now we have a video I'd love to play with you that you can hear from Sister Damian Marie. So thank you, Sister, so much for joining me here at Aquinas College. I really appreciate it. I was going to ask you, I think I met you right away when you first came to the state of Michigan. That was when?
2016.
Okay, so 5, almost 6 years ago, actually.
Yes.
And I do remember that I gave you some tips on how to survive the winter in regard to weather wear.
Yes, because I was moving here from Houston, Texas.
Yes.
And your tips have paid off, I can tell you.
Have you adjusted to the weather here in Michigan?
I have. Actually, the first time we had snow, I was so excited about it. It was as if I was a 5-year-old again because I hadn't seen it in Houston, and I still love it. I think the sisters maybe get a little tired of me saying, "Isn't it so beautiful?"
No, Michigan is wonderful. It has wonderful advantages that sometimes we get a little tired of snow about this time of year.
Yeah.
But one of the things right after meeting you, we wanted to grab you right away to help out West Catholic. And so we really appreciate your generosity in your time, being a member of the board and also a longtime member of our Catholic Culture Committee. Do you have any comments you'd like to say about that experience of joining us to help lead the school?
Yeah, I have to say it's been a really rewarding experience. It's the board members are wonderful to work with. You're wonderful to work with, and I think your leadership is what's driving so much of the successes of West Catholic. And I just feel like I've been part of a great team. And I really love Catholic education, and I can feel it happening at West. And I just really appreciate that opportunity to be part of that.
Well, thanks, Sister. We're blessed with a great team in the building and also our board and all of our committees. We're so blessed to have that. Tell me a little bit about your role at at Aquinas College.
Well, at Aquinas, my position is the Dean of Science and Sustainability. So I oversee the science departments, and so that's biology, chemistry, physics, geography, and environmental studies. And then we have the nursing collaboration with the University of Detroit Mercy, which is really big for us here. And then also the Center for Sustainability.
Wow.
So it keeps me busy. It's about 25 faculty and staff.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And you were fortunate enough to come in and have to oversee the construction or reconstruction, I should say, of this beautiful, beautiful hall.
Yes. This was kind of my big project for the first 5 years. Now we're in here now, so I'm very happy to say we're in here. It's paid off. And I think it really has put Aquinas on the map in terms of really being able to give a top-notch science education, but in a liberal arts setting with a Catholic foundation.
And
So-
what would you say to encourage all of these young women about going into the sciences?
I would just encourage them. There are so many opportunities now for women, and I think maybe less so when I was growing up, so I was a little bit unusual being an engineer. But nowadays, it's just such a rewarding profession,
Yeah.
and I think women could really make a contribution to it. So.
Well, and we're hoping to see a lot of our students here at Aquinas College and learning their lessons from you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sister.
you so much, Cindy. Yes.
Wow, just a fascinating, woman that we're so lucky to have, help us out here at West Catholic. I am curious though, Cindy, what's the winter secret that you shared with Sister Damien Marie?
I have shared the secret with Sister Damien Marie, and I've also shared it with one of our newer teachers who just spent 11 years in Thailand. And I would love to share with all of the young ladies at West Catholic who come here with bare legs in the winter. The secret is flannel tights.
Mhm.
Flannel tights under everything. Under your skirt, under your pants, or in Sister Damien Marie's case, she kind of showed me her flannel tights underneath her outfit that she had on yesterday.
Sure. Probably
Her
smart. May even have to bust them out for spring break this next week.
Unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah.
So now it's time. We're moving into our girls leadership group segment, and we have Maggie Duba, Sujin Park, and Anaya Tan here with us. So welcome, girls, to WC Live. We're happy to have you on the show. Yeah, absolutely. So first, let's start off with Sujin. Can you explain to us, for the viewers out there that may not know exactly what girls leadership group is?
I would love to.
What that club or organization is here at West Catholic.
Girls Leadership Group in West Catholic is we are putting a lot of emphasis on sharing information about the Women Leadership Group and then giving our future leaders such as Maggie and Naya and myself a power so that we could be more involved in our community activities. For instance, recently we went to the downtown Grand Rapids to talk to the event planner. She's a female, of course, to talk about her field and how she is involved in her field as a female leader. And we're very inspired about her stories and her passion, and that's basically what we are doing. Yeah,
that's awesome. And I know you all have done, as you just mentioned, some service projects. Maggie, could you share maybe one that stood out to you, in your course of being a part of this club?
Yeah. Well, every year year around Christmas, we do like a drive for St. Anne's, and we every community collects like a specific thing that the elder people at St. Anne's can use, or when it gets dry and cold, like lotion or socks or puzzles, just little gifts. And then also when I was, I forget which year it was, but we went to Stocking Elementary and helped with their field day. So we got to work with those kids too. So we work with all sorts of ages in our community.
Impactful for sure. For sure. That's awesome. And then lastly, Anaya, what does being a part of Girls Leadership Group mean specifically to you?
Well, being a part of Girls Leadership, to me, it gives me a place where I can, be my true self. And I'm surrounded by all these other wonderful young ladies who are also being their authentic self. And it's really a place where we can build this kind of sisterhood where we know we can go to each other and we can always talk to each other. And it's just a really nice, tight community. And I always have fun at the meetings. There's always something going on, Cassie skateboarding, someone in a box or something. So it's always enjoyable.
Awesome. That's really awesome. I'm glad you all have had the opportunity to be a part of it. And certainly, if there are other females in the school who would like to be a part of that group, we definitely encourage everyone to look into that further. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we do greatly support the work that you've done in women's leadership. It's made a difference in the lives of a lot of people, young and old. So thank you for all of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, thank you, girls, for joining us. We hope you have a great spring break as well.
Yep.
And we'll be sure to see you soon.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you know?
Okay, so I think this is the part of the segment now where Mr. Tony Fisher always does a little "Did you know" segment. And so, Cindy, was there anything that you'd like to share with our?
Definitely is. We're going to stick with our theme of the women at West Catholic who made West Catholic. So most of you, I assume you are aware, but many of you, especially our newer families, may not be aware that to the north side of our campus, for many, many years, from 1962 until probably about 9 years ago, there was a convent.
Mhm.
And in that convent, all of the sisters of Notre Dame who taught in our school lived there. They had up to, I believe it was 40 bedrooms.
Wow.
And all of the staff members, they worked their day here at West Catholic, and they would go home where they had dinner. They had daily mass. I had spoken with one of the priests who had the time had been at Sacred Heart, and he spent a lot of time over there. And he told me also a little bit about their daily routine. Their favorite thing to do was after the school day, after dinner, after prayers, was to sit down with big bowls of popcorn and watch movies. And he was often lucky enough, if the movie was good enough, sometimes he was invited to come sit and have popcorn with them. But he did say it was interesting because the topic of conversation was always the kids. It was obvious that these sisters loved the kids. They worried about the kids. They cared about the kind of education they were getting.
Sure.
And they lived that life 24/7. So all of those of you who were at West Catholic during the time of the sisters know that those sisters loved and adored you and spent a lot of time caring about you both in and out of school.
Absolutely. Well, and I guess I didn't even realize, I knew there was a convent. I did not realize that it could house 42
Yes.
people at the same time. So I didn't realize it was that large.
Yeah, it was great. It was absolutely great. So anyways, we're going to go ahead, and we're getting close to wrapping up the show, but we do have to bring our meteorologist in training, our junior, Renee St. Andre, also known as Rainy Renee. I know she put together for us a special spring break forecast. So we're going to let Rainy Renee take it away.
Hey West Catholic Live, it's Rainy Renee back with your weekly weather report. I'm so ready to leave Michigan already because the weather doesn't look too good for this coming week. There will be temperatures in the low 50s and 40s and some rain and cloudy skies over spring break. And I know that many students are going down to Siesta Key and they have great weather. Temperatures in the 80s throughout the entire week. People going down to Gulf Shores, there will be temperatures in the 70s all throughout the week. And Myrtle Beach will have temperatures in the 70s as well. Sorry to those who don't get to travel. Happy spring break. I don't know where Mr. Gonzalez or Mr. Fisher are going, but hopefully they'll find a beach somewhere. I'm Rainy Renee, signing off.
So Megan, speaking about spring break,
Uh-huh.
what are your plans?
Everybody should pray for us. We're driving down to Florida with 3 kids. I'm actually a little bit more worried about my husband than I am my 3 kids, but we are going to try to hit the beach there, and hopefully it's 75 and sunny somewhere, right? But we're definitely looking forward to it. Are you headed anywhere?
No, I love the cold and rain and ice and snow. I wouldn't miss it for the world. So I will be staying here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Do have a little work to do, but I won't be working all the time. So I do hope to sleep in a little bit.
Yes.
And spend a little time with my husband and family.
Good. Just some much needed downtime. That's
Absolutely.
really what I'm looking forward
Yep.
to. So,
Yep.
well, good. Good.
Yep. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Thank you for joining us. You can find our podcast version on the show wherever you get your podcasts.
Sure, and that you can find the on Apple Pods, Google Pods, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker. Any and all of those are options for you to tune in and catch up.
That's it. Have a great